Good day, everyone. Good day, ma'am. I'm Elaiza Taculod from BSHM2B, and right now I'm going to report the chapter 10 entitled Organization for Sales and Advertising. So we have here the subtopic of this chapter, including the sales, the marketing, functions of selling effort, channels of distribution, kinds of goods, market research, price, quality, and service, and lastly, advertising. So we have also the learning objectives. So the student should be able to define what is sales and marketing and why is it important, explain the functions of selling effort and channels of distribution, discuss the different kinds of goods, the market research, the price, quality, and service, and lastly, the advertising. Organization for sales and advertising. What is sales and why sales are important? So sales are said to be the lifeblood of a business. Certainly without sales, which means orders, a company could not continue in business very long. The continuance primarily depends on the orders that the sales department gets. The only way by which a business can sustain itself year in and year out is by making sales and collecting money from the sales. Selling doesn't mean merely taking orders, it means digging up possible users of products or services and persuading them to buy. The very importance of selling or the sales department is manifested during periods of depressed business conditions. Example, when it is difficult to get orders or to find buyers of the product or service. When business drop-offs due to a decline of sales, factories close, workers are laid off, and this persists until business gets better, meaning until the company salesmen will find it easier to get orders. So some concerns take advantage of depression and time to put out new products or to improve the present products. Other companies feverishly cut their prices in a frantic effort to get business. So we have here the sales and marketing. Sales as a department of an enterprise is but a manifestation of the bigger business function of the marketing. Very often sales and marketing are used interchangeably. So marketing has been defined as the business activities involved in the flow of goods and services from the point of production to the point of consumption. So it is part of the function of marketing to take the goods from the producers and to perform the necessary functions to make them available to the consumers when he wants them, where he wants them, and in the quantities he wants them. So marketing also develops a demand for goods and then find the goods which will satisfy the demand. So we have here the marketing functions. So in the marketing of industrial, commercial, and consumer goods, certain inescapable tasks must be performed. So these tasks are called marketing functions. These functions are buying, selling, transportation, storage, standardization, finance, risk-taking, and the providing of market information. In the foregoing classification, assembling refers to the bringing under one management of goods, which may then be sorted, graded, and stored for current or later distribution. Wholesalers who gather products from hundreds or thousands of producers for resale to retailers perform the act of assembling. Sorting and grading puts together in one category goods which are certain size, form, quality, or other distinguishing characteristic. Lumber is graded, eggs are sorted, so there are many products coming from farming, fishing, or other genetic and extractive industries. So we have here the place of the sales department in the organization. In manufacturing, mining, transportation, and other similar enterprises, the activity of selling is on a par with other major activities. So as earlier stated, it is one of the two most important business functions, the other being manufacturing or production. As such, it should have equal voice in the determination of all the major policies related to quality and type of product produced, to methods of distribution, to terms of sales, and to all other activities that exert influence upon sales. The ultimate success of any business depends upon the ability of the business to sell its product or services. The modern business society is highly competitive one and calls for the exercise of good salesmanship. Success in selling depends a great deal on the quality of the product and the price at which it can be sold at a profit. But many good products properly priced will not have consumers' acceptance because of faulty sales and management. Effective selling goes hand in hand with the intrinsic worth of the good being sold. So we have here the sales organization. The sales organization should be developed to meet the specific needs of the enterprise. The organization structure, however, is influenced by many factors, among which are: first, the nature of the product; second, the nature of the market sought; third, the marketing plan; fourth, the outgrowth of custom or tradition; fifth, the size of the company and volume of sales. The first we're going to discuss is the nature of the product. The company should choose the type of organization best suited to market the product. For instance, industrial or producers' goods are often sold direct to the customers or with a minimum of channels of distribution, and therefore require a smaller sales organization to distribute the same volume. The second is the nature of market sought. The nature of the market sought influences the type of sales organization somewhat in the same manner as does the nature of the product. The market for consumers' goods is a broad one. The market for producers' goods is more restricted. Therefore, a manufacturer who would sell his product in both markets would likely adjust his sales force on a functional basis to meet the various conditions that might arise. So high quality and high price items have a limited market. Therefore, the sales organization is built and trained accordingly. However, a company desiring to manufacture products for two distinct markets, the high price and the low price, may have two separate sales organizations. So next is the marketing plan. The plan of marketing is often governed by nature of the product as well as by the market desired, although they are not only based on selecting a particular plan. The manufacturer, for instance, may sell the woman's silk hosiery he produces through any or a combination of the following methods. So first is direct to the consumer, either through personal selling or mail orders. The second is through wholesalers or retailers to the consumer. The third is through selling agents. The fourth is through company branches to the retailers. The fourth is any combinations of the foregoing. So any plan selected definitely decides the sales organizational structure base suited to carry it out. A company may plan an intensive merchandising effort, so it may concentrate in urban areas or aim its selling effort at a particular type of customer. Whatever is adopted will affect the structure of the sales organization. So we have here also the customs and tradition. Custom or tradition is influentially in determining the channel to be used for marketing the product, and the particular channel suggests certain types of sales organization. So certain companies break with customs and select channels they deem best and which are particularly noticeable in their frequent attempts to fit organization to the capacities of available sales personnel. So for example, if the logical sales manager is deficient in certain aspect of his job, as estimating future sales possibilities, although he is superior as a leader or the sales force, a separate sales research and sales budgeting division may be established. A company with many traditional channels of distribution may come up with a new product which it cannot trust the old channels. The company may feel that the usual channels lack the aggressive selling effort needed to push the new products. Hence, it may break with tradition and shape its sales organization accordingly. So we have here the next, the size of the company. The size of the enterprise and its sales volume have much to do with the organization of the sales force. So the small enterprise may have no separate sales, research, advertising, or promotional department, whereas the large enterprises may have these departments attached to the parent's organization and may have also similar departments for the respective operating division. The next is the philosophy of the management. This factor may likewise influence the sales organization structure. One company, for instance, may be inclined to believe in highly centralized control with all major decisions in relation to credits, advertising, and so forth, confined in the home office. On the other hand, another company may follow the practice of promoting decentralized sales activities, so both companies may operate branches in various cities as a matter of convenience for physical supply. So next is we have here the essential functions of selling effort. Making sale does not mean merely taking orders. It means locating more and more possible users of the products or service and persuading them to buy. Selling may be divided into three functions, namely first, finding out what people want and need, second, finding people who want or need it, and third, getting orders from them. So all these functions are concerned with people as potential customers. All sales efforts with the customer. Some authorities claim that every consideration of business starts with the customers, so it is necessary then to find out what the customer wants, need, give it to him. The other question is what human need is that is not already satisfactorily supplied. The question implies not that a brand new product must be found, but that if present available product or services do not meet the customer's needs, perhaps our improved product or service will do so. So it is quite clear, therefore, that every problem of sales must be viewed from the standpoint of the buyers or customers. The consumer's needs, desires, preferences, beliefs, habits, and even shortcomings constitute an important determinant of the products offered, the channels of distribution, the promotional methods, and the structure of the organization itself. In a broader sense, however, selling may take on more diversified activities. In a big marketing organization, the function of selling will be further subdivided into the following functions. So first is product planning and development. The second is contractual function. The third is demand creation. The fourth is negotiation. And lastly, the fifth is contractual. So next is we have here the channels of distribution. By channel of distribution are meant the steps by which products are distributed from the producer or manufacturer to the consumer. It refers to the course followed in the transfer of title to goods in case, however, of enterprises that render services rather than manufacture articles. The product is almost always sold directly to consumers, but for manufacturers, the selection of the proper channels of distribution is very essential. Changes in buying habits, transportation, communications, and market locations have modified methods of distribution greatly during recent years. In the flow of goods from manufacturer to the consumers, the following channels may be used. The first is from the manufacturer directly to the consumer. The second is from the manufacturer to a retailer to the final consumer. The third is from the manufacturer to the wholesaler to the retailer and to the consumer. And the fourth is from the manufacturer through a sales agent to the wholesaler, to the retailer, and finally to the customer. So the work of the various channels makes more efficient the marketing function. We may examine the work according to the following paths that the flow of goods may take. So first is through jobbers, the second is direct to retailers, third is direct to consumers, and fourth is through brokers or agents. So first we're going to discuss is through jobbers. The jobbers assembles the products from manufacturers, stores them, and sells them to retailers. In so doing, the jobbers assume risk of price fluctuation, obsolescence, or damage and non-payment of credit extended to customers. The jobber also sorts and ships product according to the retailer's needs. The second is direct to retailer. Direct distribution by the manufacturer to the retailers has some distinct advantages, which may be as follows. The first is the manufacturer is able to ascertain better the consumer's desire through first-hand contact with the first point of sale, which is the retailer. The second is the manufacturer exercises more control over the final sale of his goods if he has direct contact with the retailers. He builds his own personal relationships and goodwill and has better opportunity to influence retail prices, displays, and other factors that affect the popularity of his product with the customer or consumer. The third, reduce selling expenses and affected if goods are sold to retailers rather than jobbers who warehouse the goods first and later repack or ship same to the retailer. So the next is direct to consumer. This channel of distribution is needed for the product, which requires a high degree of technical training of salesmen in order to sell it, and when services must be rendered in connection with the product after it is sold. For example, This method is employed by the manufacturer of office equipment such as typewriters, adding machines, and others, the salesman of which must have ability to operate them in order to be able to sell and to provide repairs and reconditioning after the sale. Otherwise, the customer may become dissatisfied. For similar reasons, most industrial equipment is sold directly to users. It is difficult for the jobber or retailer to have men with sufficient training to sell and serve such products satisfactorily. So manufacturers of many types of consumers goods have used the direct to consumer method to some degree. For example, manufacturers of such article as brushes, hosiery, and medicine use the direct to consumer method. The next is through brokers or agents. The broker usually performs only one major function of distribution, example selling. In contrast with the jobber, the broker or agent usually sells only one type of product. The broker must frequently handles the distribution of products and goods at the same time with consumer goods but in lesser degree. For example, a broker or agent is used extensively in the distribution of farm products, notably livestock and fresh fruits and vegetables. The reason is that the farmer does not have economical means of reaching the wholesaler of such products. Thus, it becomes customary for him to consign them to a local broker or agent who in turn sells them to the jobber who distributes them to retailers. The prominence of the role played by the broker or agent as a channel of distribution is notable in the real estate field. It is quite difficult for buyers and sellers to get together without the aid of the broker or agent. Under such circumstances, the broker or agent becomes an additional link in the chain between the producer and the consumer. Under such circumstances, the broker or agent becomes an additional link in the chain between the producer and the consumer. So next topic is we have here the kinds of goods. The sales manager may handle the marketing of producers' goods and consumer goods. Producer goods, often called industrial goods, are those goods used in the further production of other goods. Consumers' goods are sold to ultimate consumers for their own use. The market for producers or industrial goods is a concentrated one. There is a limited number of buyers, but when they buy, they do so in large individual purchases. Technical considerations are prone to come in when buyers decide to buy producers' goods. The demand for this good is derived from the demand of consumers for the goods which are made from producers' goods. There are 5 directions that may be taken to meet competition, any one of all of which may be necessary, as may be determined by the market studies of the research department. These directions or factors are: the first, price; the second, quality; the third is service; the fourth is terms; and the fifth is product. So the first we're going to discuss is price. It's important. Commonly, price is the expression of market value. It is the amount of money that will purchase the goods or services and which an article can command in exchange. The consumer's price is the amount of money he must pay for the goods or services. The producer's price, the amount of money he received for the product. Price is important to the consumers because the amount of funds at his command must be distributed among the various goods and services he requires or desires. When competition is mentioned, many people think only of the price. It is true that price is important, but not all important. A product which is poor in quality, even if it has low price, cannot maintain a market that demands a higher quality. On the other hand, a better quality product having the same price as a competing product will have little difficulty in maintaining its market as long as those differentials are present. So quality is not all important but plays an important part in business and in competition. Quality for quality, other things being equal, the low price is more attractive than the high price. In case the materials or goods are purchased for resale, the price has a definite bearing on the cost on which the resale price will be figured. So what is quality? Quality is considered more important than price, especially when buying to specifications. The term quality has been rather misused. The term quality goods does not mean what many consumers think it means, for quality exists in different levels. So lastly is we have the advertising. Advertising is defined as any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods, or services by an identified sponsor. This definition involves four key elements. The first is paid form, the second is non-personal presentation, the third is ideas and services as well as goods, and the fourth is an identified sponsored. Marketers try to draw attention to their products and services. They seek the media that most effectively convey their selling messages. What are the major classifications of media? How important is the selection of the proper media? And what is the relative status of the various media? There are many media through which a manufacturer or a merchant who has decided to advertise can set his message before the public. The great problem is the advertiser is to select the right media to be most effective in each particular medium. Broadly, media may be classified as follows. The first is periodical media. We have here the newspapers, magazine, directories, journals, and programs. The second is we have here the broadcast media. We have the television and radio. The third is mass media. We have the outdoor, like posters, billboards, electric spectaculars, transportation, car cards, transit, radio, and the point of sale displays and novelties, and cinema or theater advertisement. The fourth is direct mail media. So we have here the follow-up letters, circulars, catalog, broadsides, and the package insert. Rarely does a single company use all the different media of advertising. Usually, a company select those that will accomplish its objectives economically. And that's the end of my report. I hope that you have learned something in this chapter, Organization for Sales and Advertising. Thank you and God bless.